Okay, so apparently, even though when you call your final movie of your franchise the final chapter, that still means there's still gonna be another sequel coming out, apparently. Okay, so guys, if you couldn't really guess already, I have found out news that as a horror fan, kind of made me cringe, and I was so pissed off when I heard this. Thanks to my good pals at schmozknow.com, I found out the news that one of the most well-known horror franchises, Saw, is gonna be releasing a Saw 8. Why? Why? Did you guys forget that you called Saw 3D the final chapter? It's called the final chapter for a reason, guys. It's the end. It's the conclusion. Now, as you guys know, I've never been a big fan of the Saw movies. I only liked the first Saw, and I kind of dug Saw 4. I loved the first Saw because it wasn't a torture movie, but there was maybe only one torture scene, the very famous reverse bear trap scene. That was a race against time, not to see how much people could torture themselves or take off limb by limb. And I loved what James Wan did with the first movie. Now, James Wan is my favorite horror director working today besides Scott Derrickson and Betty Alvarez. When Darren Levy Balsman, he wrote a movie called The Desperate. Apparently, the studio's execs saw it as another Saw movie, so they basically said, just turn it into Saw 2. And I think that's where they got the torture porn genre out of. Now, when James Wan created Saw, it wasn't a torture movie. It seemed like they got carried away with the Saw movies and saying, you know, if you really appreciate your life, just cut off all these limbs. With Saw, it's just, oh, people are just gonna spend 10 bucks just to see people ripping off their limbs anyway. I was not one of those people. I didn't pay a single dime to go see any Saw movie in theaters when they came out. Guys, Saw is not a horror movie. It's just people just tearing off their limbs. There's nothing scary about it. You want a real horror movie? Watch The Conjuring. Watch Sinister. Watch Evil Dead. Woman in Black. Watch The Exorcist. Watch Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. Watch Insidious. You see where I'm going with, guys? These movies are actually horror movies, not Saw. Now, James Wan said that he would go back if they could take it into another direction, which, if they did that, I would actually pay to see Saw 8. I really would. But if they kept it with the same stupid tearing off limb by limb, I'm not gonna go see it. Because that's not fucking scary. Saw 7 was called the final chapter. Stop it! It ran its course after 3 or 4. Alright guys, so those are my thoughts on Lionsgate actively developing a Saw 8. Comment down below of what you think of this news. And I will see you guys next time.